I have started recording. You can begin the session.
No, am I audible?
Yeah, clearly, very clear.
That's what. Just I was asking that. So how do we go in Telugu or English? I don't know. This day.
English.
Hmm. Okay. So what was the last session? Can someone recap it so that we can go
So
ahead?
we discussed a lot about Manassu, what Manassu is, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the how Manassu works,
Okay.
uh, how it gets hold of images or how it becomes the images, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and how it projects the emotions that we store in, and how
Mm-hmm.
it plays games with uh, the mind.
Right. Right. Overall, it was about the mind. We have started, not completed yet, I suppose. We have not finished about, right?
True.
Uh, Let me do first of all the Guru Pratna and then we get in. Straight we try to enter into the session. That's not a good practice for that. ॐ वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थः प्रतिभक्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपार करुणा सिंधुम ज्ञानदम शांतरूपिणम श्री चंद्रशेखर गुरुम प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम् हरि ओम. So in the last session, we tried to talk about, discuss about mind. What was the essentiality to discuss about the mind in Advaita Vedanta? There is a question just again putting before you. What is the necessity of studying about the mind? Because we are not the psychologist or psychiatrist. What is the fun of studying or observing our mind? When body is there, we can do all karmas with that. We can do pujas, we do yajna yagas and other things, other rituals. Then why specifically about the mind we need to discuss here? Is there any significance to know about the mind? Is it so essential? Can someone support me in this? What is the essentiality of studying our mind? Is it not just our body uh, enough to study with? Or can we just uh, talk about the God Himself or herself? What is the essentiality of the mind here? For sure, we are not the psychologist. We are trying to be the Vedantins. Then why specifically about the mind? This is my question.
I think Manassu plays a key important role in this, whether to
Mm-hmm.
adapt, uh, whether to get hold of that uh, true form of Paramatma, or
Mm-hmm.
whether to get hold of Vishaya Vasanas, Vishaya Jnana, materialistic things. I think Manassu
Mm-hmm.
plays a key role here, so I think it's necessary for us to understand what mind is and how it works, and
Mm-hmm.
with that, how we implement into our Vedanta study is a
Mm-hmm.
key part. And Aditi wants to
Okay.
speak. Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
because
please.
the thoughts become actions, which is karma. So it is important to keep a check on the thoughts, so that our
Mm-hmm.
karma is in check. That's what I think.
Yeah, right. Right. Both of you are correct. In fact, truly speaking, mind is the only one which is the creator and which is also the destroyer of the world. Usually we say that there is one Lord called Brahma, there is one Lord called Vishnu, and there is another Lord called Shiva, Brahma Vishnu Maheswaraha. These three will make the world to get created, to maintain or sustain or to destroy. This is what generally any theist will say that. That is true as far as transactional world is concerned. But Advaita never says that. There is no one to create the world, there is no one to sustain it or to maintain it, and there is no one to destroy it. It is you making the world. You are creating the world. You are the creator. And you are sustaining it. You are keeping it with you. And then finally it is getting destroyed by you. These three things are happening by you and by you alone. There is no one in the universe to create or to sustain or to destroy. This is crucial. It's something like a bombshell falling on us. Always we feel like that. Oh my God, then how about this Vishnu Loka, Brahma Loka, and what do you call the third one? Kailasa. How about these three? Then we also get a question whether the man has created the God or God has created the world or the man. This is a sub question. These are all the sub questions in those. We need to deeply probe into. Otherwise, we don't get any perfect answer on this. So the final answer is, if you go for higher order Advaita Vedanta, very higher order, that is the ultimate. It says that your mind is the creator for everything. Everything, the entire world and the gods, everything is created by you and by you alone. There is no one to create it. It may be a bit difficult for us to digest being theists. We do agree that God is there. We do agree that world is there. For us, it is very difficult to digest. Two key points we need to observe here. There is no one there to create us. This is the first point. And there is no universe at all. These are the two key points which Advaita Vedanta completely talk about. That is the reason why we need to study about our minds first. And later, we can talk about the God. I don't want to use the word God here. God is a separate thing actually. I call it as Brahman or Atma or Ishvara. These three pretty good to use. Did you get any point in this? Who is creating the world, the universe, as per Advaita Vedanta?
No.
You are the creator. Your mind is the creator. There is no universe at all. So once this cessation of the universe happens, if there is no universe at all for you, that is moksha. That's all. Very simple. As simple as that. So how long it takes for you to get the moksha is as simple as that. Getting onto a horse. As for Ashtavakra, he says that very simple. How long you take to just get onto a horse? You're a good rider. Just you want to get onto the horse and then you have to ride it. How long it takes? Fraction of moment. That's all. So when do you get the moksha? Is the moment the cessation of the universe happens to you, then you will be getting the moksha. You are the Jivan Mukta. This is what Advaita Vedanta says. So where is the world? The world is in you, not outside. You are thinking that the world is outside of you. Second important, another bombshell is, we generally say that there are objects outside. So that is the reason I am seeing that. I am seeing those. Generally we say that. But Advaita Vedanta is completely ulta pulta. It's exactly opposite to that. No, 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 no. Don't say that as there are objects you are seeing. As you are seeing, there are the objects. Their objects are appearing. If you don't see, no object will appear. It is really difficult to digest these things. We are habituated that because the morning when I get up on the bed, in my bedroom, I see the same articles, same projections, same objects, isn't it? So it may be very difficult for us to say that the world is not true. It is mithya. It is very difficult. So that's where we should go very slowly how this mind is acting. There's a reason last time we tried to discuss on the mind first. So if we understand our mind, then we can talk more elaborately about the world, and we can talk more elaborately about this, what do you call the birth and then the death. We can talk it later. First, let us try to understand the mind. Are we on the same page? Are we going along with hand in hand?
Yes, yes, yes.
Any point to be raised at this moment? If you agree this, at least theoretically, because we are not at sadhakas, we have not yet started. We are just understanding the subject, the Vedanta. We are trying to understanding it. This is called Sravana. And later on, we think about it several times. We keep thinking that is called Manana. And later on, we do some Vedantic meditation that is called Nididhyasana. Then it will be practically, we will be experiencing that. We will experience that only by means of Nididhyasana, that means Vedantic meditation. You have to apply all these rules to you. Then you will also come to know that, yes, universe is not real. It is an appearance. It is appearance because it is a projection of the mind. As long as your mind is projecting, you see the objects, you see the people, you see everything in the world. Otherwise, it is only the Brahman, Vishnu. He has a name called Vishnu. Doesn't mean that he always stays in Vaikuntha. No, that subject is not taken here. Vishnu, who has completely, Vishnu means who is completely surrounded with. He alone exists. He alone exists. You don't take it as Vishnu means Mr. Vishnu or Mr. Shiva. I'm not saying in that context. Vishnu who has Vyapakatva, that means completely is expanded. Wherever you see. That means the entire universe is surrounded by him alone. No one is there. So what I want to say is here, or what Advaita wants to say is, your mind is creating the world. Your mind is sustaining the world. Your mind is, and mind alone is destroying the world. This is the basic point of Advaita Vedanta. If it is clear for you, then I can go ahead with the mind. Let us try to recap what we discussed in the previous class. Again, we'll come back to Advaita Vedanta. When I'm talking about the mind, it is not Advaita Vedanta. It is again because mind is the one which is giving the samsara, which is creating the samsara, and mind is the one which is giving the moksha. No one is going to give us moksha. Our mind itself is going to give moksha. That may be difficult to understand. For your samsara, both your samsara as well as moksha, who is responsible? Your mind alone is responsible. That is the reason I am just giving more stress on this point. Are we clear so far? Theoretically, at least.
So in the previous session that we were discussing, so
Yeah.
we happened to discuss this. Manassu is perceiving world because Manassu is not perceiving world because it exists, but because Manassu is perceiving things, the world comes to existence. So many of us had this doubt. Even if my Manassu is not perceiving, say, this particular room, somebody else comes here and they can still see the room and it exists. So if you can elaborate on that, it would help us a lot.
Right. This was actually questioned in Upanishads. A student at Gaudapada, that was usually we call it as a Purupakshi. He's also a theist, but still, like we are also theists, we also have these doubts. The answer that was given by Gaudapada is, It is not necessary that you should pursue the world. See, I never gone to America. I never seen that. But I heard it from someone. I heard it from someone. That's enough for you. That's enough for your mind to capture and create the world. It creates America in my mind, in it, and it develops, and it has a lot the amount of thoughts in it. When it practically goes to America, these thoughts or these pictures are different from that pictures, what exactly we see practically. So what it exactly says is, it is not necessary that you should see the snake. If I talk about the snake, it will be like this, and it is more dangerous, right? It will have two fangs. It bites. Whenever it bites, it will be poisoned and will be died. If you listen all these things, then your mind starts creating those. Not necessary that others should see that. Number one, point number one. Point number two, this is not created in this life itself. The mind is not the newborn baby, not in this life. Its age is like millennia. It has all those vasanas in it. Whether you talk about a snake or ant. See, last time I was talking about like a very newly born child, infant is there, for example. You just give him a drop of honey to him, what he says? How he says that? How he tastes it? Because it is not the first time he is taking the honey. You may think that first time you are dropping a honey drop to him on his tongue. No. He has tasted everything on the earth. He has tasted everything on the earth. Whether you call it vegetarian, non-vegetarian, whether he drinks, whatever it is, he has already taken. So don't think that because it is I never seen your room. As you have perceived it, I am coming to know it is because of these vasanas. Am I clear so far? Not necessarily I should see the object, but I can imagine. I can imagine it. I can imagine anything. I can imagine Indraloka, I can imagine Gandharvaloka, I can imagine four trunks elephant, anything. I can imagine. The mind has that capability. But as you raise the question, let me go in depth of that. For example, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to my bed and I have started my sleep. Say, this is called Swapna Avastha. I'm entering into Swapna Avastha. Java Swapna Shishita Avastha. In my dreams, I can see all these things. I never gone to Indraloka, I never gone to Gandharvaloka, I never seen four trunks, white elephant, I never seen that. But still, in my dream, I can see all these things. Isn't it? Isn't it? When I come to Jagrata Avastha, when I wake up, the same person, me, say that, no, they're all untrue. They're not true. They're false. I'm saying that. As long as I was in dream, I was in in an instinct that those are all true. But when I come out from that dream, the same person, the me, saying that no, they don't exist at all. They're all my dreams. They were all my dreams. I dreamt like that. Point number one. Point number two. Now, Gaudapada, our Upanishad center here. As you say that the dream world is absolutely mithya, false, the same way your waking world is also untrue, is also false. I'm again going back. When I was in waking state, when I'm in waking state, I'm saying that my dreams were false. In which state I am telling that? In the dream state I am saying that my dreams are false. But as long as I was in dreams, I was saying that was true. My state is now in waking state. In dream state it was true. In waking state it is becoming false. Similarly, Similarly, your waking state becomes false when you become the Brahmajnani. From Brahmajnani perspective or in Brahman perspective, the world is false. Atma perspective, the world is false. Like a waker's perspective, dream is false. Like Brahmajnani's perspective, your true world which you are saying is also false. So not necessary that I should see the objects. Even I hear from anyone, my mind can imagine anything. Is it okay for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
It depends upon the perspective, how you look into that. In which state, from which state you are looking at is very important. In dream state that was true, absolutely true. So within 15 minutes, I mean I can dream for 3 minutes or 4 minutes. How come I go all the way to America and attend a wedding party there and meet all my friends and relatives, have lunch or dinner, stay for 10 days or 15 days or enjoy my holidays there and I come back? All within time. What time it is happening? In 3 or 4 minutes of time, the entire journey is over. In the journey, I'm traveling in a flight. Is it possible to fit a flight in my mind, in my body? Is it possible to fit the aeroplane in my body? It is gone. No, my question is, in my dream, I have traveled all the way to America. There I enjoyed for my vacation or a wedding party and then I returned back. It was my dream. Why the dream was false? Because the flight cannot inserted in me. Is it not? It's only mind, it is exploring those things. And the size of the flight, the size of the elephant, is it possible even an ant can't enter inside my body? My body is lying down there on my bed. Only the mind has traveled it. Mind has created. And observe. I'm going in a higher order. To be frank with you, this is very, very higher order Advaita Vedanta that we are talking about here. So the travel that I made within 3 minutes is absolutely wrong. It is completely false. In similar way, the world that you are looking at during your awakening state is also wrong, is also false. They are all just appearances. Then you pose a question, then are we all in your dream? Absolutely. I am dreaming in this way that I am taking a session here. Many people are attending, a few people are attending that. I am teaching Advaita Vedanta. This is also I am dreaming. I am not sure whether you are all alive in the world or not. It is again my dream. Got my point? There are 3 or 4 people here. So it is completely my dream. You are not truly available. This is what Advaita Vedanta says. You are all appearance of the Atman. Brahman is appearing in these ways. Is that clear? No,
Yes.
you are not convinced, it seems to. Not convinced, some few people, I doubt. Because, see, without having basics, we are directly entering into the higher order. That would be bit difficult. Bit difficult, I understand, but still, try to give some clues for that. But anyhow, this is completely Mandukya Upanishad. Whatever we spoke now is completely Mandukya Upanishad. Okay. So what was that question clear? So my answer is not necessary that you should see the object. Even you have heard from someone, then the mind can create a picture in its own way. That's my point. Okay. Shall we go ahead? Talk about mind? No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So in the last session also, give me 1 second, please. Just 1 second. Only 1 second. Okay. So what is the mind now? Where it is? Where is it? This mind or Manassu is completely different from the brain. Brain is the one which is a physical form. Exactly. We can touch it, we can feel it, and we can scan it. That is possible. That is a brain. I'm not talking about the brain. I'm talking about the mind. It is a virtual. We can't see that, but it plays the entire role of it. So mind is defined as it is a series of thoughts. What do you mean by that? If there are no thoughts, then there is no mind. When there are no thoughts, there is no mind. What do you mean by that? When there is no mind, there is no world. When there is no mind, there is no world. Finished. This is called amani bhava in Sanskrit. When your mind is dead, that means no thought is there, then the entire universe will disappear because it is not there at any time. At any time it was not there. So the universe will also disappear. That's what Advaita Vedanta says. You understand what is it? Mind is?
Manassu is a stream of thoughts.
Hmm.
So if Manassu dies, the creation dies. Is that what it is? Or
Correct.
if Manassu dies, Vishwam dies? Srishti dies?
Everything dies. Everything. Whatever you name it.
Oh,
Whatever you name it. See, the word die is not a true word because it will never die. Mind will never die. Mind is created by Atman. Mind is the carbon copy of Atma. Mind is a reflection of Atma. So is it possible to kill it? Like in Bhagavad Gita it says, Atma can never be died by anything. You cannot kill it by any weapon. Similarly, the Manassu or the mind cannot be killed. So what it means? When you make your mind completely silent, absolute silence, without movement of any thought there, no thought at all, then your universe vanishes. Universe doesn't appear to you. Atman appears. You is something like you are looking at yourself. Atman is you. Because you're all going through Upanishads, you know very well. You are none other than Atman. You are none other than Brahman. So you are looking back yourself. So far you are looking at the world, at the universe. But you turn back, you look at yourself. But what should you do? You have to make your mind absolute silence. That's the only way. Then you will not have again this samsara. That means you will never have again birth and death. You will escape from the cycle of birth and death once your mind becomes absolute silent. Then why it is not keeping itself very silent? Why it is always chattering? Without any intention or interference, always it chatters. Why? Because it has a fear always. It has always a fear. There's the reason throughout life it holds one or another object. Without object, it will die. It knows it very well. Mind knows very well if it doesn't hold any object, any obstacle, it immediately dies. To avoid that, it holds some object. On anything, it will be roaming. That's the reason why it is chattering. But without absence of the mind, you cannot get the moksha. This is for sure. Your mind should completely absent. It should become completely silent. Then only you will get the moksha, or you can escape from the cycle of birth and death. May I go ahead? I think only we are three here in this session. Is it okay?
Absolutely okay.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Now I'm not talking about Advaita Vedanta for some time. I'm completely focusing on mind. Let us try to understand this. Then we will come to know how to stop the mind. That is really easy, not so difficult. So mind, we say that it is a series of thoughts. And how I'm getting thoughts actually. When I look an object.
One small request though, if you can
Hmm.
if you can rather use terms of Manassu and Srishti and all that, it's easier
Mm-hmm.
for me especially to understand. Mind, every
No
time
problem.
I'm hearing mind, I'm thinking of brain and it's going elsewhere. So
No problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. So this Manassu, how about Miss Aditi? Is it fine for her? Understand that?
Aditi, I think every time we are discussing in terms of Manassu, so I think it should be fine. Uh, every time we are discussing in terms of Manassu, so I think it should be fine.
Okay. Fine. So when now look at your eyes. When you look at an object, when you look at an object, what's happening exactly? When you look at an object, it is not that your eyes alone watching that or looking at that. It will be immediately traced by your manassu. The moment you see any object in the world, immediately it will be traced out or captured by your manassu. Isn't it? And is that all? Or anything is also capturing? Anything is capturing. Is there something else is also capturing that? Now, I come in this way. This is called Durdrasya Viveka. For example, someone has beautiful eyes, like lotus eyes. Some woman or some man has some beautiful eyes. But unfortunately, his eyes cannot see the world. He's blind by nature. So he cannot see the world, right? He cannot see the world. Then some people have vision and very few don't have the vision. Who is responsible for that? There is someone who is also watching in you, who is actually these eyes or jada padarthas. Jada means they cannot do by themselves. Jada means they cannot do by themselves. That's what I took the example of blind man. Now his vision is completely dark. He cannot, even doctors operate him, he cannot watch anything or he cannot see anything at all. So there is something, there is some power inside making eyes to watch the world or to see the world. So when I see with my eyes any object, it's not that eyes alone watching them. Your manassu is also simultaneously watching them. And two things are over. And thirdly, when you enter in there, Atman, who is exactly actually giving the strength to your mind and eyes, is also watching in parallel. So object is seen by three things at once. Your eyes, your Manassu, and then the Atman. These three things are capturing the world or object at once. We are thinking that I am seeing. I am seeing that my eyes are seeing. No. Your mind or Manassu is also seeing at the same time, in parallel. At the same time, Atman is also coming to know that this boy is looking at the object. This is called Drishya Viveka. We generally stop with eyes. No, Atman is also seeing. I am hearing some sound. It's not that your ears alone heard that voice. Your manas also heard that. Atman also heard that. Please note this point. Five senses we have. With five senses we are doing five different things. Nose is smelling. It doesn't mean that nose alone is smelling. Nose doesn't have that capacity. There is something power coming from inside from Atman is making the nose smell it. Otherwise it can't. Immediately Manassu is also capturing that smell. At the same time Atman is also observing that smell. And it says that this boy is smelling something harsh or something smooth. When I touch heat, something, a vessel, I feel that it is very hot. So my skin is capturing that heat. At the same time, your mind or manas is also capturing the heat. Thirdly, Atman is also coming to know that he has touched the very hot particle. Three things are happening at once. Three are observing at once. Fine.
So,
When I see an object,
whatever
hmm,
Agnindriya is perceiving the world, say perceiving the world, be it seeing,
Jnanendriya,
okay, whatever
Jnanendriya,
there are
sense organ.
five Jnanendriyas, uh, the ability to see, the ability to smell, the ability to taste, the ability to hear, and the ability to feel the touch. So, whatever
Hmm.
Jnanendriyas are perceiving the world in whichever way, that is
Mm-hmm.
parallelly being seen by Manassu, which is also being parallelly observed by the Atman. This is what we have discussed,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Correct. Right. When I see this object, it is becoming experience to my mind. It says that it is an object, something like say water bottle or water glass. This is the glass. It sees that and it experiences it. It is used to drink the water, and this is a steel glass. And at my home, I have a silver glass. I have also seen in some other house there is a golden glass. So, like that, it experiences about this object. For every object, it analyzes. Every object, the moment it sees any object, it starts analyzing. This is the drawback. So, it has become, so object has become the knowledge. Object, when I see the object, it is the knowledge that this is a glass. And this knowledge is converted into experience. This experience again captured as memory. That memory will be stored in your brain now. Brain is a physical object. I repeat again. How the thoughts are created, I am just giving a cycle for you. This is an object. The moment I see this object, I get some knowledge. The mind gets some knowledge. Manasu gets some knowledge. And through this knowledge, it gains experience. How this can be used, what for this can be used, and what are types of this object. Everything I get that experience. This experience becomes a knowledge. I'm sorry, experience becomes the memory. Object, knowledge, experience, memory. This memory goes and sits in the brain. So the mind, now this is only one object I am talking about. There are thousands or millions and millions and millions of objects daily you are observing. Every object is stored in your brain in the form of memory. And mind does, it takes 16,000 patterns every day, 24 hours. 16,000 patterns. As per the psychologist, I'm telling. As per the neurologist, I'm talking about. Every 24 hours, it takes 16,000 patterns. So it can touch the glass at this moment. It can touch my friend from the brain. It can touch my enemy from the brain. It can go anywhere. It can wander anywhere in the brain and it can capture it and make it as a thought. Make it as a thought at this moment. So again, thought becomes an experience. Again, it goes to brain. So this cycle will be completely rotating in this way. It never stops. As long as this cycle is going on, maybe about the glass, maybe next time about the pen, next time maybe immediately about the cinema, next immediately in the next second it may talk about the politics. What not? It can continuously chatter on any topic. And all these objects are stored where? In the form of memory. They are all stored in your brain. Medadu. That is the reason why your thoughts are not getting stopped. They are continuously, one after another, they keep on chattering about some articles, some objects. This is the problem. That is the reason why the world exists always. If this cycle is broken and there is no thought at all in the mind, then the mind vanishes. This is my point. Ms. Aditi, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Does it make some sense? What's the mind? Did you
Yes,
get
absolutely,
some?
absolutely. In fact, a lot of things that I've read other than this are all connecting here. So yes, it does.
Yes, okay. Can I go ahead then?
Yes, please.
Yes. So my point is here is, we are not even, I'm not interested about the brain and thoughts and everything. My problem is what Advaita Vedanta says. The moment you stop your thoughts, then there will be cessation of the universe. Universe doesn't exist then. Only Brahman appears in and around. Only Brahman appears. That means you alone appear. No one can appear later. This is called Brahmajnana. So why it creates, we have explained it. The thought, how it is being created, we try to understand that. This is the first point. Second point I want to discuss here again. Last time we touched it. Always mind has certain abilities. Generally, we look at clock. Every home, we have the clocks, right? This is called chronological clock, chronological time. As per sunset and sunrise, it keep on going. Other than that, mind can also create its own time. And your time and Miss Aditi's time and my time are completely indifferent. They are not same. They are completely different. Not indifferent. They are completely different. Your time, my time, and her time are completely different. I am not talking about the clock. Clock is same. Say for example, it is 7:15 now here. Is also same in both of you. I mean for both of you. I am talking about some other time that is created by the mind. This is called psychological time. Psychological time is created by our own minds. What do you mean by that? Psychological time. Now it is 7:50. As per our clock, it is 7:50. If I keep silent, I don't talk at all. When I try to keep myself silent, it doesn't keep silent. What it does? It goes immediately captures some object or some topic actually. 20 years back, I had an enemy.
You're getting your voice is getting stuck. I don't know if Aditi too has the same problem, but
Yes, I thought it's some problem in my network actually. Yes, it is crack ho rahi hai awaaz.
huh. Hello.
Okay. Then how to rectify this? Shall I restart and rejoin rather?
Okay, sir.
Hello?
Please try that. Please try that once.
Okay. Shall I rejoin again?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I did not attend his previous classes, so can you introduce me to him?
Yeah, yeah. We can discuss that. We can discuss
Okay,
that in tomorrow's session.
okay, okay.
And if you are not able to follow anything, please feel free to ask.
No, no, I was asking to introduce, like, I did not attend his previous session. So, if you can
I think.
introduce him to me.
Okay. We'll cover that part tomorrow.
ठीक है, okay, okay.
Okay. I'm audible now.
Yes.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So here the point is, so what we were discussing, second point we were discussing. So this is called, what do you call, what you're talking about? My God, lapse
Your
of thoughts.
uh,
Psychological time.
psychological
We were talking
thoughts.
about psychological time. It is exactly coined as psychological time by J. Krishnamurti. So let me use the same terminology here. This is psychological time. What do you mean by that? At now this is 7:50 now. Let us assume that by clock. By my watch it is 7:50. When I am at 7:50, I should think about only about the things that's happening at 7:50. But unfortunately, what happens is mind captures the things from the past. From the past always. The things that happened at 6 o'clock, happened at 5 o'clock, happened at yesterday, happened last month, last year, and 10 years back, and even 100 years back also. Why? And now these captured things will be presented at this moment, at this present time, and projects me to the future for tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to go to bank. Why at 7:50? So the last time I did wrong. I think tomorrow I should do it better so that I get my visa. Why at 7:50 it is projecting my future? Why it's capturing the things from the past? This is the most dangerous thing that the mind is doing. And this is the reason why it will never keep it silent, keep it itself silent. Isn't it so dangerous? Just tell me, or is it okay for you? At 7:50 or at 8 o'clock, there is a present time for me. At present time, why my mind is capturing the things from the past and presenting me at this moment, and again projecting to the future? Is it okay for you all? Is
No,
it
it's not.
okay? See, I had some enmities with someone in the last year it has occurred. And tomorrow, fortunately or unfortunately, in the wedding, tomorrow I'm going to meet her or him. Tomorrow. Now, today at 7:50, it recollects everything that has happened in the last year, how the enmity was grew, and then how tomorrow I should, and how should I face him or her, and how to talk to him or her. It makes some rehearsals here at this moment. Is it encourageable? Can you encourage that? Who is doing all these
In that
things? Who is the,
in that way, we are
yeah,
not in the present at all. Actually, we are always,
who
either in the
is,
past or the future.
true. But did you ever observe this? Did you ever check your mind?
Yes, yes, a lot.
So if you do that, then you are one step ahead. I say that. You are very closer to a liberation. Very closer to the liberation. If you are capable of observing your own mind, you are done. You are almost done. We never observe how it misbehaving inside, and how it is creating so havoc inside, and what is going to project in future. If we observe that, then it becomes silent. Very simple. First of all, we need to agree that it is not admissible. Right? At 7:50 or 8 o'clock, you shouldn't talk about anything about the past or future. If we agree that point, then we can go ahead. Are we sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Why you should talk about the past? See, past, where from it is coming? It's from your memory. Past is always memory. Please do think that. Please do observe that. Whatever the past. So I know you, for example. How do you know? Because you met me already. You met me already. It is there in your memory. So again, while you are sitting for meditation, it is capturing me in your mind. Why it is getting me at this present? Is it not a serious objection? It is after all a memory. It is past. It is over. I can't repair it. And apart from that, it is also presenting me to the future. It is showing some hope. This time I couldn't get my visa, maybe next year I can get my visa. This time I couldn't get my marks, maybe next year I can. It is always projecting my hope. That is also dangerous. This is completely psychological disorder, to be frank with you. It's a disorder. So at say 8 o'clock, I should be at 8 o'clock. At 8:01, I should be at 8:01. At 8:05, I should be at 8:05. Tomorrow, I should be at tomorrow. I shouldn't move here and there. Then you are almost done. Then how can I control my mind? Why it is projecting always past and future? How can I control the mind? This is the next question. Unless I stop my mind, I cannot get the liberation. This is Advaita Vedanta. Now we are taking help of Jiddu Krishnamurti here. Right, this all talks from the Jiddu Krishnamurti. I am projecting so that will be useful because he is also Advaita Vedantin. It doesn't appear like that, but he is basically an Advaita Vedantin. Fine. How can I stop that? Very simple technique that is given is just keep observing that. No, that word is also not suitable. Aware of your mind. Just aware of your mind. Just aware of your mind. Am I not audible? I'm almost shouting. Sarvajna.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
You're audible.
Yeah.
You're audible. You're audible.
Yeah. So what you have to do is just note what is doing. Just aware of it. Don't try to interpret along with that. Don't try to control it. If you try to control it, conflict starts. Immediately conflict starts. So how long I need to observe? As long as you take your breath. At the beginning it may be difficult for you. You take the breath. You take your breath. As long as you take inhale and exhale. This is called meditation. This is real meditation. You need not close your eyes, sit in a right posture, lean to a wall, you for sure you will get the sleep. So what is the meditation? Observing your mind. Observing your Manassu is the meditation. That means now you are not looking at the world. Your travel has started inside now. Inside travel. Anthamukam. So far you are in the Bahirmukam. Now you are traveling inside. First you start with your mind. Then keep penetrating inside. Keep penetrating. Keep going. Then you can see yourself. The word see is wrong actually, but still I am using it just for making it understand. See, the Atman or Brahman or you call Ishvara is not somewhere else. I am Atma, Brahma. I am means very clearly, Idi, this one. I am means this one. This Atma, where is that? Here. Just inside to me, this body. I am Atma, Brahma. This Atman is Brahman. And that's you. Then what are you looking at? Why you are roaming entire world, going to all temples, going to all pilgrimages, going to all rivers, going to oceans, dipping there. Why you are doing yajnagas? Why do all karmas? As simple as that. The Atman is here. I am here, very near. It is not there. It is here. Then look at yourself now. Travel inside. So far, what you have traveled? So far, in sense, not 30 years or 20 years, I'm talking about millennia. Previous births also I'm taking into count. Got my point? So, where you start? You start with your mind first. With Manassu, you start. First, just keep aware of that. I mean, be aware of that, how your mind is chattering. Just observe it at the beginning. When you keep on observing it or keep on looking at it, it stops its chatters. Immediately it stops chattering. That is the only technique that you have, or that is a very good technique that you can use. And further, you can add, I'm not interested in. If it, say, it is talking about 10 years back, it is getting some thought which is relevant to 10 years back. You say simply, I'm not interested in. You are discussing it now. And it is projecting some future. After 10 years, I should build a house, 10 BHK house. Why you are projecting that? I'm not interested in. I'm interested only in the present. So as long as you keep saying to it, counseling it, then it keeps completely quiet. This is called absolute silence. And it doesn't happen within an hour, within 1 day, or 2 days. As long as you start practicing it, keep on doing it, within time of like a month or 2 months or 3 months, based upon your practice, it completely stops. It never projects your past and the future. Take it as granted. You please take it as granted from my end. You are finished then. 75% of your sadhana is completed. Without any mantra, without any yoga, without any meditation, without anything at all, 75% of your problems are solved. When you keep your mind always at present, never thinks about the past and future, you are done. Am I clear, Miss Sarthi?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I might be emphasizing several times because this is a very important issue.
Yes, absolutely.
Very, very important issue. Hmm. Now, once it becomes, I mean, yeah.
So, you have spoken about Manassu thinking of the past, Manassu projecting things of future, but it has
Hmm.
also caught certain images within itself that
Hmm.
may not necessarily be about the past or the future, but Vishaya Vasanas,
Hmm.
which
Okay.
prompt different emotions even in the present,
Yeah.
uh, like Arishad Vargas. So,
Yeah, no. Yeah.
um,
Talking about exactly we were discussing is about absolutely about mind at this moment. I'm not talking about Vedanta now. Are you sure about that? I'm not talking about Vedanta. I'm talking absolutely about the mind. We'll enter into that. Later we'll enter into that. You are sure. You are correct. Because of vasanas only, again, these are coming. Even those vasanas can also be stopped. Yeah, go on, please
yeah,
go on.
uh,
Hmm.
stopping thoughts from the past, stopping projecting the future, that can be done by Atma Parisilana or checking your Atman, saying that I'm not, checking your Manassu rather, saying I'm not interested in the past, I'm not interested in the future. But how
Right.
can one stop Manassu from projecting these Vishaya Vasanas, projecting these Arshad Vargas into the thoughts?
There's again a wide topic, I think. We'll also take up that. We'll also take up that. Let me finish up this and then we talk about what exactly vasanas and all. Okay? We talk about that. So this is the second point I wanted to discuss. I think I hope you all agree with me and you are allowing me to go further. we are seeing what is exactly thoughts. What do you mean by mind? I mean Manassu, and how thoughts are projected. And then third also we discussed about the psychological time. Psychological timing is the mind is traveling in the past and future. Your body is not moving exactly. Not your body, only your mind traveling here and there. So you should control that. Control is not a right word actually. We shouldn't use that because when you use the word control, then confusion starts. So I just observe, just notice it, what it's doing. As long as you are noticing your mind, you are noting down or observing your mind, it stops wandering here and there. And it stays at present always. That is very important. That is very much important. You have any objection on this point or any like difficulty in making this? I tell you what exactly you're doing, I tell you. When you keep on observing your mind all the time, all 24 hours you are doing meditation. You know that? Previously, you have a thought that I should do meditation earlier hours in the morning for half an hour or 1 hour. Again, I should do meditation like in the late evenings for half an hour or 1 hour. But is it really happening? Is meditation really happening for you? When you sit all the way and take the right posture for doing meditation, your body was there, rightly there. But how about mind? Isn't there? Are you sure about that? I'll be allowed to listen your comments on this. Did you ever practice meditation? Any one of you?
Maybe not meditation, but uh, when doing japam, physically there, but definitely Manassu goes elsewhere. That is there.
True. Right.
So it's
Right.
like
You
all
must
the
have
time,
noticed that.
as you said, practicing, bringing back the brain every now and then. It goes here and there, even as he said, during mala firte hai ya
Yeah.
jap karte hain. So it keeps on wandering, and then again you have to bring it back again and again. So I'm still practicing that.
Correct. Yeah, at the beginning that may be difficult, I tell you. But maybe it looks like difficult, not exactly. But when you keep on observing it, when you notice every time, every moment, maybe say for 1 hour I may forget about that and I may get involved in my works so that I forget about my mind. But again, when I get to that, oh, I forgot about my mind, again go back to your mind. At the beginning, it may be 2 hours lapse or 3 hours lapse. But later on, after a great practice, you will be observing it at every second. So it cannot move any place. It cannot travel. So once now it is getting acquainted to that. It's a new topic for it, a new way of living for it. So far it was wandering in the world. Now making to sit at one place. Then it gets habituated to that. It gets acquainted to that. You need not check about it, and you need not check your mind. It always stays in the present. I'm sure. I can give guarantee card for that. Once you practice this for just a couple of months, not beyond that. If you observe always your mind, all 24 hours, what it's doing, just observe it, what it's doing, what mischief things it's doing, and say that I'm not interested. That's all. It will not wander here and there. It looks simple, but at the beginning, at practice, it is difficult. Later, it becomes damn easier for you.
So,
Then you will have only happiness. I promise you, you will have only happiness, only sanity. You will have none other than that.
sorry.
Hmm.
The one who is saying no to the stream of thoughts, the
Hmm.
one who is saying no to Manassu, is it also not
Hmm.
Manassu itself? Or is it?
Ha. The very really brilliant question here. Very brilliant. So it's a fragment of mind again. There is a division in the mind. Mind has to treat itself. There is no one. Or buddhi. Just above that, there is an intelligence. buddhi, it has to say to that. Now the question is, who has to say the mind to get stopped? Who has to say that? Who has to give this what is called command? Mind itself. Manassu has to give the command to the Manassu. There is no one. No one else there. Or you can use your intelligence, not brain, intelligence, buddhi, to say that I am not interested. That's all. That means fragment of the mind is giving command to the other remaining mind to keep quiet. You cannot ask some neighbor to ask your mind to keep quiet. No, you have to do it by own. Your mind has to do it by itself. Good point. Good point. Now, after making this exercise, if you go for real meditation, if you sit for half an hour or 1 hour, taking posture and all, sitting quietly, you find a tremendous change in your mind. It doesn't wander here and there. Keeps very silent. This experience and that experience would be entirely different. There is a drastic change that you can find in your mind. Now it always keeps it's very cool. It doesn't have any like angry, I'm in wrath, I should take revenge. All these bad things which it was possessing will be vanished. Because you have given it proper training to it. I'm not interested. I want to take revenge on that girl. No. When it comes to your mind, immediately say that I'm not interested. So it will never talk about that girl or woman or man. So who is the trainer here? Mind is the trainer. Who is going to get trained? Your mind itself. Or you can use your buddhi or intelligence. Is that clear? Then your meditation becomes fruitful. Till then, you have to take a big journey for that. What else we need to talk? What else we need to talk? Is that clear about the mind? I suggest you all, to maximum possible, really serious about your liberation. No, it is only like we learn some statistics, we learn some computer science, we learn something business management and all. I'm also just practicing Advaita, then it's fine. It's fine. No, I'm a real practitioner. Just I want to take the challenge. I want to stop this cycle of birth and death. Then that state would be entirely different. Then that lessons will be completely different. But anyhow, prior to that, very important one is you have to stop your mind. Chattering of mind should be stopped. That would be healthier even for your regular life or for liberation. For both stages, it would be helpful. Now you can take like a businessman or like a manager, you can take a wise decision. If you keep your mind very cool always in this way, not thinking about the past and future, then you can keep your mind always cool and you can take a beautiful, very good decisions. That would be helpful in that way. No, I'm not interested in all those things. I'm very much interested in my liberation. Then the story would be different, slightly different. Yeah. Am I clear? Mr. Kalyan, are you there? Yeah. Is Mr. G is Kalyan, right?
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Yeah. Is that clear so far? Is that clear so far to everyone?
Yes,
Or
sir.
is something like
Yes, sir.
some? Yes.
So I do have a doubt, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So
Please.
if we are saying the part of Manassu is the one which is deviating or which is distracting, and again another part of Manassu itself is supposed to control the Manassu, then though it is appearing as very obvious, why it is becoming very difficult for every one of us uh, to control it.
Yeah, very good. That's what actually Sarvajna wants to project on that. See, three qualities are for mind. Please note down. Note down in your mind. Number one is impurity of mind. These are the three problems of the mind. Number one, impurities of mind. What do you mean by impurities? This we call like Arishad Vargas. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. And Trigunas. What are those? Sattva, Rajo, Tamo Gunas. And other things we also discussed in the previous class, five sense organs. These are the culprits for not making your mind quiet. So, three culprits, different culprits, but making only one sense. Only one purpose, spoiling you. Purposes of all these three different categories, purpose is to not make you quiet. That's all. Number one is Arishad Vargas. Sattva, what is that? Arishad Vargas? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. These six. Number two is three gunas. What are those? Sattva, Rajo, Rajaha, Tama. Tamo guna. These three. And last time, I think you remember five things. Only for five things we'll be bothered about. What are those? Shabda, Panchatanmatras. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. We're all bothering about only these five, for these five. Nothing else is there in the world. Can you find anything 6 to 1? Only five. Shabda. We are interested in listening sounds. Someone is talking something, politics. I want to listen that. Someone is talking about cinema, so I want to listen that. Shabda. Especially I don't go in depth of that because you all well known about this. I think I hope so. So I'm not going in depth of that. These three things, three different categories, are making our life very fast. Chaos. This is called number one, impurity of the mind. I said three problems of the mind. First problem is impurity of the mind. Number two, distraction of the mind. It can't concentrate on single one. It will keep on roaming here and there. For that we found some solution just now. Distraction. To stop the distraction. Keep noticing it. Keep noticing it, what it is doing every time. You can stop the distraction. Right? Third one is ignorance. Ignorance is not that I know English, I know Spanish, I know mathematics, I know all business things and all. This Advaita Vedanta is not talking about this ignorance. Ignorance that you have forgotten about your true nature. You are saying that this world is true. This is called ignorance. What Shastra says that, what actually Veda says that, Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Last time we have discussed it. Brahma alone is true. Brahma Satyam. Brahman alone is Satyam, is true. Second one. Jagat Mithya. Whatever the Jagat, the universe that you are seeing, is an appearance of this Brahman. Appearance of the Brahman, please mind it. There is no separate entity for the world. Because of your, see, for example, this is Atman, my right hand. I think, I hope you can see that. This is Atman, and this is Manassu, mind. The rays of this Atman is projecting through this mind and translated as word, transmitted as word. If Manassu is not there, here Atman and here is also Atman. Nothing would be there. Because your mind is interfered in between, here Atman and there also Atman, because Atman is everywhere. But unfortunately your mind is in between these. It has entered here. Then the Atman is projected as the word. Now it is called appearance. The word appearance of Atman It is appearing as objects, it is appearing as human beings, it is appearing as animals and all. In fact, it is Brahman, Brahman alone. So the first statement is Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. Brahma is true and Jagat is an appearance. It is not the real one. Second point. Third point, I am talking about myself. Who am I? You are none other than Brahman. That is Jiva Brahmaiva Na Para. Jiva, I am talking about Jiva is me. I have also defined what is Jiva. Jiva means mind plus body complex is called Jiva. Jivatma means mind plus body complex. When mind is attached to any body, it says that it's me. The body is me. This is called Jivatma. So there is no Jivatma at all. You are Brahman. Jiva, Brahmaiva, na para. It is none other than Brahman. There is no separate Jivatma, there is no Pragyatatma, nothing is there, only Brahman and Brahman alone exists. Rest of the things is completely apart from Brahman. This is called Advaita Vedanta. So, your question, I am trying to answer your question, coming to the point. Three problems you have, I am just recapping it. First problem is impurity of mind because of three categories, various categories I have already defined. Number one, impurities of your mind. Number two, distraction of the mind, the distraction of the mind. Number two, and number three, ignorance. Ignorance means avidya. Avidya of what? Again I have explained, avidya, it is not that you are talking about English, you are talking about mathematics, something. No. Ignorance is completely not knowing your true self. Now you question yourself, who am I? Didn't we discuss about the 10th man in the very first class? Do you remember that? The 10th man. Do you remember, Kalyanji?
Yes, those they're counting the group of people who were counting the disciples.
Yes, finally he has forgotten himself to count. He's counting all 9 and he has forgotten to count himself. So some guru has to come and tell you, why didn't you count yourself? So we are counting always the people in the world, we never look at ourselves. That is the ignorance. We never considered ourselves, we didn't respect ourselves. That is the problem. We are respecting everyone in the world. That is the ignorance. Why? Why are you not looking at you? If I look at myself back, then I'll come to know my true nature. Till then, it's an ignorance. Your true nature is your Atman, not the world. This body is an appearance. And this is not the first body I got. I have millions and millions of bodies I have already seen. Is it? This is called ignorance. Ignorance, avidya, means not knowing your true nature is ignorance. So how do I resolve my problem? How do I resolve my problem? These three problems are there in my mind. Okay, that is universal problem. I do admit that. And how? There must be some solution. Then Advaita Vedanta says that. Very simple. Don't worry, child. Number one, first problem is you have impurity of mind. What you do is Savana, Manana, Nididhyasana. These three things are there. Three practices. Three practices are there. What you do? Keep listening always. Keep listening always the Advaita Vedanta. Whether it's in the form of upanishads, in the form of Brahmasuras, in the form of Bhagavad Gita, whatever it is. Keep listening them all the time. Number one. Number two, keep memorizing them. By keep listening, you are getting just information. By attending the session, what you are getting? Information only. And if you just forget here itself, there is no use. You have absolutely wasted your time by attending this session. But if you take your mind, keep recollecting it now and then, always rather, then it sticks in your mind, you get some doubts and they also get clarified. This is the second point you have to do. Third, you have to sit for meditation. This is mandatory. This is called nididhyasana. Sravana, I think you all understand small Sanskrit words. Sravana means listening. Manana means again and again and again thinking about that. Nididhyasana means keeping Vedantic meditation, doing Vedantic meditation. I mean, whatever you heard, whatever you are remembering, now you are applying for you. See whether this is applicable for me and you are checking for it for yourself. Practically you are doing it on your own. Then you realize that you are Brahma. These are the three simple ways given for stopping these things, for impurity of the mind. For the impurity of the mind. Mr. Basha, is there distraction of mind? How could I stop it? Mr. Sheikh?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
I'm listening, sir.
What do you do for distraction of mind? How could you stop that? Any clue?
Yes, sir.
How do you stop your distraction of mind?
Just ignoring, sir. Ignoring my thoughts.
Is it possible to just ignore?
Observing, and then finally I got that how to.
See, first of all, you have to do Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. Before that, what you have to do is, have you ever, Mr. Sarvajna, did you ever discuss about this sadhana chatushtayam? Sarvajna?
No.
Did you ever discuss about sadhana chatushtayam? Shall I discuss on this now?
Please.
Shall I discuss it?
Please.
Because this is the time. Yeah. You may down, please. This is very important before, who is really wanted to get liberation. This is a very, preamble or prerequisite. Very prerequisite. Sadhana chatushtayam. 4 ways of practicing. Number 1 is, you know Nitya Nitya Vivekam. You should have Nitya Nitya Vivekam. Nitya means permanent. Anitya means impermanent. The first one is Nitya means permanent. Anitya, which one is not permanent? See, I tell you, this is my. Can you say that this body is permanent always? Everyone. It applies to everyone. Can anyone say that this body is permanent, long lasting, for thousands of years?
No, sir.
No. Right? Like that, you have to apply this rule for every object that is available, readily available with you. You take your cell phone, is it long lasting? Take your television set, is it long lasting? Which is permanent and which is impermanent? You need to apply this formula for every object. See, I have various organs in my body. Check with every particle. Isn't it every time your blood is getting afresh? Is the old blood that I say at the age of 1, I had some blood. Is it the same blood? You think that I have the same blood now? You apply for every part of your body even. They are also impermanent. They are not permanent. This is called Nitya, Anitya, permanent and impermanent. Keep pursuing about that. Try to analyze it, which is permanent and impermanent. This is the first step. So I am talking about sadhana chatushtayam. First one is, chatushtayam means 4. The very first one is, please observe whether this article or this being is permanent or impermanent. Number 1. Number 2, you should have vairagya. Number 2, you should have vairagya. Vairagya means both ihaloka and paraloka. You should not dream that I should go to heaven. then you don't have the vairagya. One day I should go to heaven, I should meet Indra, one day I should meet Varuna. If you have those thoughts, you don't have the vairagya. Both Ihaloka, tomorrow I should buy an AC for me, next day I should buy a car for me. This cannot be called as vairagya. This passion, you should have this passion on every object in the world. Am I getting you? Yeah.
I think
Yeah, yes,
your
please.
voice is again a little problematic. Can you? I don't know if it's just for me or for everybody else.
మాకు బానే ఉంది. ఇట్స్ ఆల్ గుడ్.
Avana, then it must be a problem with my end. Okay. Please continue.
So we are discussing 4 folds of practices. It is a prerequisite for getting into Advaita Vedanta or any Vedanta, very prerequisite. Please mind it always. First we talk about Nitya Nityam. That means you need to check yourself on every object. You should apply this, whether it is permanent or impermanent. If it is impermanent, leave it. You should have Vairagya. So there is a difference between Nairasya and Vairagya. I think these small Sanskrit words you can capture, right? You can understand. And Vairagya, because every Indian, I think being Indian, we all know it. These are regular words that we use. Very often we use them. Nairasyam and then Vairagyam. Vairagya is not a new word for you. I need not translate it much. Please raise your hand if you are sure about that. Nairasya and Vairagya. I am going to define it. Don't worry. Kalyanji, Srikanji and Aditiji. Hello.
It will be great if you can, give your point of view as well.
Sorry.
It will be great if you can share, what you think about it.
No. Have you ever heard about this Nairasya and Vairagya? It is the words I am talking about. I am not talking about the
Yes.
definition.
Yes.
Sorry? Yes. You all say yes. Okay. Yes. See, for example, I have some Nairasya. Nirasya. I don't have any greed about that. I am not greedy. You take this one. For example, someone asked me to wear some gold or jewelry. They asked me, this is a wedding occasion. They insist me to wear some ornaments. In fact, in my mind, I'm not at all interested in that. But I don't want to disappoint that gentleman. I wear it. In my mind, I'm not interested in that. But not to disappoint that gentleman, just I have taken them. From my mind, I am not interested. This is called Nairasya. Nirasya, I am not interested at all. First point. Vairagya means I don't get remembrance at all. Even I walk on the street, I don't look at the jewelry shop. Previous cases, this is a jewelry shop. This is something shop, mobile shop. Everything I was noting down. This time, even I walk the streets, I don't look at them. Even I look at them also, they don't attract me. This is completely dispassion. There is small difference between Nairasya and Vairagya. Nairasya means I am not interested in. See, this is very peculiar thing. I am not interested in politics. I shouldn't say that I have Nairasya in politics. I am not interested in politics, but it doesn't mean that I have Nairasya. I have Nairasya on all topics. Whatever you bring to me. Whether you talk about money also, no, I am not interested. You talk anything about politics, no, I am not interested. You talk about cricket, also not interested. But it doesn't mean that I am a crazy guy. Why? This fellow is not interested in anything at all. Because he is in the state of Nairasya. He is not interested in the worldly things. Second one, Vairagya means he doesn't get anything in his mind. Even you talk about the gold and ornaments, doesn't show any interest at all. And even afterwards, even he don't get into his remembrance. This is called Vairagya, complete Vairagya. this passion about the entire world. Number 3. First one, Nityanitya Viveka. Number 2, Vairagya. Number 3 is, again, there are 6 parts in third point. 6 practices in the third practice. 6 different practices in the third practice. I am repeating it. Number 1, or ABCD, I can use A, B, C, D. A. Samadhamadi Sadhana Sampatti. You can note down, later we can discuss about that. Samadhamadi Sadhana Sampatti. This is also called Shatkam. Third one is Samadhamadi Sadhana Sampatti. Shatkam. Number 1. Samam means Shanti. You should be always cool. When you will be cool, when you will be happy, if you don't have any greediness, you don't have any anger in your mind, you are not jealous about anyone, you are not a liar, always you speak truth, so this all come under Sama. Sama means keeping your mind always cool and calm. How do I keep it? If I don't have any angriness, if I don't have any selfishness, if I don't possess any jealous about others. So these are all bad habits actually to the mind. This is called Sama Sampatti. You have control over that. You never speak untruth. You always speak truth. This is called Sama. Antarendriya Nigraha. In other words, I can say that Samam means Antarendriya Nigraham. What are Antarendriya? Manassu, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. These 4 things are called Antakarana. Right? Samama means you are keeping all your inner organs silent, cool. Antarendriyas you are keeping very cool. When do you get it? If you are a liar, you cannot keep your mind cool. If you are greedy, you cannot keep your mind cool. If you are following adharma, you can never keep your mind cool. Please remember this. So Sama has a broader perspective. Next is Dhamma. Sama, Dhamma. Second one. Control over your other organs. Hands, and your eyes, ears, legs, on everything. Every organ that you have. I don't speak on those. That you should have control on each and every organ that you possess. This is called Dhamma. That means Bhashendriya Nigraha. This is called Bhashendriya Nigraha. First one is Antarendriya Nigraha. Second one is Bhashendriya Nigraha. This is called Dhamma. So you should possess Sama, you should also possess Dhamma. These are all good habits. Sama and Dhamma. Third one, Uparati. Like A, B, C point. Uparati, Rati means having too much connection with affection with everyone. Uparati means you are withdrawing. Your withdrawing is called Uparati. Withdrawing from every person, withdrawing from every object, withdrawing from the entire world. And you are alone. You can check dictionary what do you mean by alone. Alone is all in one. Now the entire universe is in you, or you alone exist. Alone means it is not that loneliness. Loneliness is different. Usually the old age people are kept in old age homes. They feel very lonely. No. The alone, you are praying for it. I want to be alone. I don't want anyone to be connected with me. What point? Now, Uparati means you are withdrawing from each and every relationship of the world and you are staying alone. Staying alone means you are staying with Brahman always. This is called Uparati. Rati means mixing up. You are getting attachment. Rati means. Uparati means you are getting detached from them. Withdrawing from everyone. Fourth one, Titiksha. Titiksha means you should have enough patience. Titiksha means vorpu sahanam, that means patience. What do you mean by patience? Say you are working in an office, someone provokes you, someone insults you, then you won't react at all. You will not react at all. This is called titiksha, patience. In other words, you are seeking liberation. You are seeking moksha. And you have started practicing today. You have started your meditation today. This is day 1 class. And second day you are expecting your liberation. Next day I should get my aeroplane, I should go to moksha. You are impatient. You may have centuries and centuries or birth or 5 births or 10 births even. 5 more incarnations or 10 more incarnations or even 100 more incarnations. Still you should have the patience. I have practiced my meditation for few hours, still I didn't get my liberation. Do you call it as patience? You are impatient. So even someone provokes you, you shouldn't react. This is called titiksha. At the same time, you should also have enough patience to wait till you get the moksha. In both ways you can say. Are we on the same page, please? At least someone raises a hand, I would be happy. Otherwise, it's something like I'm talking myself, talking to myself.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I can see only black board here, none other than Sarvagna I could see. That's the first disappointment for the speaker, but anyhow. You don't want to disclose your identity, that's fine. But still, at least some reaction, whether you are getting me or not. Fine. Fourth point, in the third one, in the third main group, the fourth one, A, B, C, D, E. I'm talking about samadhana. Next one is samadhana. Usually samadhana means answering, we call it in general. That is wrong. As per Shastra, as per Shruti or as per Vedanta, whatever you call, samadhana means samyak adhanam. Samyak adhanam means keeping your mind at one point, only one point, focusing. In English, if I translate, I can say focus. What do you mean by samadhana? Samadhana means generally not your answer. Right? Samadhana, in Telugu we call samadhana means answer. No. Samadhana means keeping entire your mind. No fragment of your mind should wander here and there. The entire mind, whatever its area, should focus on one particular point. That is your Atman. It should focus always on its own. This is called samadhanam, samyak adhanam, keeping your mind at one point. That is called focus. That means keeping your entire focus on your Atman. Right. And the next one, A, B, C, D, E, F, right? If I'm not wrong, F, right? In third one, it is F. Shraddha. Shraddha means generally what do you say? One should have the interest. No. Here, as per Shastra, Shraddha means having faith. Having faith in your Guru and as well as in Shastras. You should have faith in Vedas. You should have faith in texts. Vedas is text, nothing but. And you should have also faith in your Guru. This is called Shraddha. So third major point is Samadhamadi Sadhana Sampatti. Simply it is called Shatkam. In third one, we spoke about Samamu, keeping yourself always in Santi. And acquiring Damamu, that means Bhakhendriya Nigraham. Third one, Uparati, withdrawing from everything in the world or from the world. Fourth one, Titiksha, you should have enough patience. Even someone provokes you, you shouldn't. Or you should also have this patience until you get the moksha. Whether we can take 1 birth or 2 births, third birth, the three birds, never mind. But you should keep focusing on that. One or another day you get moksha. Compared to your millennia of living, is it not so easy? I mean, it is not so happy getting moksha, very in this life or in the next life or next life. Is it not good part? You tell me. Is it not good? Right. That is called titiksha. Next one is samadhanam, samyak adhanam. That means focusing on particular point, like focusing on your own. That means focusing on your atma always. This is called samadhanam. And I also spoke about shraddha. Shraddha means you should have faith in your guru as well as the text. That means Vedas or Vedantas. So these entire things, these three, after that, the final one, the major fourth one is mumukshatvam. Major one is called mumukshatvam. That means you should have, mumukshat means tivra moksha kanksha. Always you should think about your moksha. You don't have any other target. You don't have any other target than getting liberation. This is called mumukshatvam. Always you should pursue about that. You should always, your thought should be always about your liberation. This is the fourth one. I repeat again, sadhana chatushtayam, fourfold practices, mumukshutvam. Right. So we spoke about sadhana chatushtayam. That means fourfold practices for any sadhaka for getting liberation. These are all prerequisites. Before entering into Advaita Vedanta, these are all very much required. Because the question that was raised by Kalyan, that why my mind is always wandering, because you didn't have certain practices so far. That is the reason why your mind is always wandering, your mind is always chattering. To stop that, you should have certain qualities. How do I get those qualities? By using these four practices. What are the major four practices? Number one, Nitya Nitya Vivekam. That means you should understand yourself, realize yourself, which is permanent and which is impermanent. Every time you should check whether this body is permanent or not, whether this house is permanent or not, whether this object is permanent or not. Every time you should check with every object, then you finally realize that God alone is permanent, and everything is impermanent. So why do you have so much affection towards these impermanent things? They are impermanent. They never stay at all. So leave it. Number one. Next one is vairagya, dispassion. You should have both ihaloka and paraloka, about worldly things as well as heavenly things. So I can say that, no, I left everything in the world, just I want only heaven. Then it cannot be called as vairagya. Both heavenly things and worldly things should have the equal vairagya. Second thing. Third one, samadhamadi sadhana sampatti. Again, it has 6 things in that. We have elaborately talked about that. And the final one is mumukshatvam. Mumukshatvam means always you should have too much kanksha about this moksha. So these all things, I think I shouldn't feed too much in a single day. It is a vast subject. Otherwise, you will get distracted. You will get distracted. Just I recap you what we spoke so far. One is we elaborately discussed about mind and how to stop that its thoughts. We discussed. And then what are the qualities of our mind or problems of mind also we discussed. That is impurity of mind, destruction of mind, and then ignorance of the mind. These are the 3 things that we have. That's the reason why our mind is not quiet always. Right? And then how to get my mind calm and cool and serene is that we have 4 practices. Four practices also we have discussed, I think. I think, is it so difficult or complicated to understand this topic? Are we all on the same page? Now, yeah. Yes.
I think of all the sessions, today's session has been more informative than ever.
Okay.
You have been clear from your part, but to digest all that's been discussed in today's session and to put it into practice, maybe it will take some time.
Long time. Frankly speaking, long time. Very long time. Unless you are very serious about that. Because, of course, we have regular duties. I do understand that. I do understand we have other regular works, and also we have to maintain this. It takes some time. Don't worry. Frankly speaking, it takes long time. But still, don't get disappointed. That's called. I already told you. What you should have, you should have sadhana. You should have enough patience for that. No, you should have titiksha. You should have enough patience for that. Okay. Kalyanji.
Sir.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yes, sir.
To answer your question, I got deviated. See, based upon your questions, the class will be moving. Okay? Based upon your questions only. Is it okay for you? Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir. Got
it.
Just
Srikanji? I think Srikanji is attending first time, if I'm not wrong.
No, he's been here before.
No, to my session, which I have taken as a speaker. Sorry?
Attend అయ్యాను.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I remember face. And Sheikh Ji.
Yes,
Sheikh,
sir. I have no doubt. Yes, sir. I have no any doubt.
You don't have any doubt about that. Fine. Absolutely. Naveen Ji. Naveen, is that right?
Namaste Ji.
Namaste. Okay.
I have joined the session for the last 20 minutes only. So,
okay. Fine.
I missed maybe the starting point, but whatever the things last you repeated, I did understand a little bit, not much, but I'll try, sir.
So tomorrow you can discuss what I can suggest you is tomorrow for 10 to 15 minutes, maybe you can discuss these points. You can again discuss all these points. Still, if you have doubts, you can post me so that I can. It should be interactive. What I feel is always see my session will be like I speak with my students regularly. I expect always it should be interactive. It is something that always.
సార్ మేబీ ఒక డౌట్ అడగచ్చు అడగకూడదు అని సంశయపడుతున్నాను, అడగచ్చా?
చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు పేషెన్సీ ఉండాలి అంటే, నేను లాస్ట్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పింది లాస్ట్ లో విన్నాను కాబట్టి మొత్తం వినలేదు నేను. పేషెన్సీ ఉండాలి, కరెక్ట్ ఉండాలి, కానీ అవతల ఇప్పుడు వచ్చేసి వీళ్ళు రాక్షసులు, ఉన్మాదులు మన పట్ల క్రూరంగా ప్రవర్తిస్తున్నారు. వాళ్ళ పట్ల మనము పేషెన్సీగా ఉండటం కరెక్టే అంటారా? అది ఇప్పుడు మనకు అహింస పరమో ధర్మహింస తథైవచ, మనకు ఆ ధర్మహింస తథైవచాన్ని మూసేసి మోసం చేసేశారు. సో అంటే ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్లీ మోక్షము, వేదాంతాలు ఇవి నిజంగా ఏ మాత్రం తెలియని వాళ్ళకు లక్కీగా నాకు ఇది గ్రూప్ పరిచయం అవడంతో నేను కొన్ని సెషన్స్ అటెండ్ అవుతున్నాను. మీరు చాలా అద్భుతమైన విషయాలు మాకు తెలియనివి చెప్తున్నారు. సర్వజ్ఞ గారు, మీరు నిజంగా పెడుతున్న టైం ఎఫర్ట్ ఈస్ రియలీ కమెండబుల్ సార్. దానికి వర్డ్స్ లేదు. వీ షుడ్ రియలీ థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you.
But
answering to your question, I have two answers. One is yes, one is no. One is yes, one is no. మీరు అడిగిన పాయింట్ కు మనం ప్రవోక్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఉన్నప్పుడు మన దావన కొద్ది మనం వెళ్ళిపోవడమా, లేక మనం కూడా దాంట్లో రియాక్ట్ అవ్వటం. ఇప్పుడు ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ వరల్డ్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు నాట్ సీరియస్ అబౌట్ మై మోక్ష, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నాకు లిబరేషన్ మీద అంత సీరియస్నెస్ లేదండి, యాజ్ ఎ సబ్జెక్ట్ నేను చదువుతున్నాను అన్నప్పుడు ద ఆన్సర్ ఈజ్ ఎస్. రియాక్ట్ అవ్వాలంటే అవ్వాలి. అప్పుడు మీ ధర్మం అవుతుంది, అది మీ ధర్మం అవుతుంది. మీ ధర్మాన్ని మీరు కాపాడు. వివేకానంద స్వామి అన్నట్టుగా మన ధర్మాన్ని మనం నిలబెట్టుకోవడానికి ఎస్ కరెక్ట్, నిలబడి తీరాలి. ఇప్పుడు నో అని ఎందుకంటున్నా అంటే చాలు. ఈ పోరాటాలు కొన్ని కోట్ల జన్మల నుంచి చేస్తూ ఉన్నాను నేను. ఇదంతా మాయ, మిథ్య. ఇది మిథ్యా ప్రపంచంలో ఇలాగే జరుగుతోంది. ఇదో పెద్ద మ్యాజిక్ షో, ఇదో పెద్ద డ్రామా నడుస్తోంది. దీంట్లో ఎవరూ లేరు ఇక్కడ. ఇదో నేను ఇప్పుడు నా ముందు ఒక సినిమా ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేశారండి, ఒక నాగేశ్వర గారి సినిమా, ఎన్టీఆర్ సినిమా. అది చాలా నాకు భక్తిపూర్వకంగా ఉంది. నా కళ్ళెంబడి నీళ్ళు వచ్చేస్తున్నాయి, ఆనందంలో పారిశ్రమం జరుగుతోంది. సినిమా నుంచి బయట వచ్చిన తర్వాత అది సినిమాలో బాబు అని రియలైజ్ అవుతున్నాను. కానీ ఈ సినిమాలో ఉన్నంత కాలం నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, దాంట్లో ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయిపోయి నేను ఏడ్చడమో లేదా ఒక కోపాన్ని తెచ్చుకోవడమో, ఒక ఇండియన్ మీద ఒక పాకిస్తాన్ యుద్ధం చేస్తున్నట్టుగా చూసిన నా ఉద్రేకం స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది సినిమా హాల్లో. కానీ అది స్క్రీన్ మీద ఉన్నటువంటి షో అనుకున్నప్పుడు స్క్రీన్ తో ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయ్యారా మీరు ఖచ్చితంగా రియాక్ట్ అవుతారు. అది ఆఫ్టర్ ఒక సినిమా అని నేను అనుకున్నానా డిటాచ్ అయిపోతాను. ఇంత సింపుల్. కాబట్టి మీ క్వశ్చన్ ఎస్ నో రెండు ఆన్సర్లే.
అదే అర్థం.
రైట్ సార్. ఎస్ సార్, గో ఆన్.
గురుజీ, ఒకటి తెలుసుకోవాలి ఏంటి అంటే, ఈ రాక్షసులు, దాడులు ఇలాంటివన్నీ కూడా సృష్టి అయిన దగ్గర నుంచి ఉంటూనే ఉన్నాయి. అందుకనే భగవంతుడు వివిధ అవతారాలు తీసుకుని దుష్ట సంహారం చేస్తూ వచ్చాడు. ఇవి ఇప్పుడే ఉన్నాయని కాదు, ఎప్పుడూ ఉన్నవి. ఇప్పుడు కొత్తగా ఫ్రెష్ గా మనకు రాలే. కాకపోతే కాలం మారుతున్న కొద్దీ, అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎలా అంటే వాతావరణం మారి ఒక కొత్త క్లైమేట్ మారిన దగ్గర నుంచి ఇప్పుడు ఎండాకాలం కాబట్టి మామిడి పళ్ళు వస్తున్నాయి, తర్వాత శీతాకాలం వచ్చినప్పటికి సపోటా పళ్ళు లేదా మరి ఇంకేవో పళ్ళు వస్తాయి. అలాగే ఒక్కొక్క టైం మారుతున్న కొద్దీ రకరకాల ఇబ్బందులు వస్తుంటాయి. ఇంతకు ముందు ఆదిశంకర టైం చూసుకుంటే అప్పుడంతా వేరే మతాలు వచ్చేసి మొత్తం అన్ని చాలా మారిపోయింది. అప్పుడు అదొక రకమైన కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి అంటే కనుక ఇంకేవో కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ అన్నది ప్రతిసారి ఉంటూనే ఉంటుంది. అందుకనే కదా శ్రీరామచంద్ర ప్రభు కూడా ధనుర్ధారి అయి వెళ్ళి యుద్ధం చేయాల్సి వచ్చింది. మరి అంతా కృతయోగం ఉన్నప్పుడు మొత్తం ధర్మం ఉండాలని మరి రాక్షసులు ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చారు. కాబట్టి దీని గురించి మనం ఎక్కువ ఆలోచిస్తున్న కొద్దీ మైండ్ వాడైపోతుందండి. కాబట్టి అది జరుగుతుంది. ఇలాంటి జన్మలు ఎన్ని చూసుంటామో, ఎన్ని యుగాలు చూసుంటామో మనకు తెలియదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఇలా ఉన్నామంటే ఇది మొదటి జన్మ కాదు కదా, ఇది మొదటి కలియుగం కాదు కదా, ఇది ఒకటే కలియుగం కాదు కదా. ఇలాంటి ఎన్ని వేల కలియుగాలు చూసుంటామో ఏమో మరి మనకు తెలియదు. కాబట్టి గురువు గారు చెప్పినట్టు ముముక్షుత్వం, తీవ్ర మోక్షాకాంక్ష గురించి ఆలోచిస్తూ ఉంటే ఇవన్నీ పట్టవు. అంటే కొన్నాళ్ళు, అంటే వెంటనే వదిలేమని కాదు, వదిలేము. కాకపోతే అంటే కొంచెం అలా ముందుకు వెళ్ళిపోతుంటే బాగుంటుంది. కానీ పట్టించుకుంటే ఏంటంటే తలనొప్పి తప్ప ముందుకు కదలలేము అనమాట. అందుకని అది వదిలేస్తూ ఉండాలి ఎక్కడికక్కడ.
మీ ధర్మాన్ని మీరు పాటించండి, అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం దాంతో అటాచ్మెంట్ పెంచుకోండి. పర్ఫార్మ్ యువర్ డ్యూటీస్. మీరు ఏం చేయదలుచుకున్నారు ప్రపంచానికి, పర్ఫార్మ్ యువర్ డ్యూటీస్, ఎక్కడ స్టాప్ చేయదు. బట్ డోంట్ గెట్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ దాట్. సంసారం కూడా అంతే. సంసారంలో నేనేం చేయాలో వాళ్ళు చదివించాలి అని డ్యూటీస్ అన్ని చేస్తా. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం అటాచ్మెంట్ ఉండదు. అది సింపుల్ గా ఉంటుంది. రైట్ అండి. ఓం పూర్ణమద పూర్ణమిదం పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశ్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. గుడ్ నైట్ ఎవరివన్. నమస్కారం అండి. గుడ్ నైట్.
నమస్కారం. శుభరాత్రి అందరికీ.